Be a joyful noise. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to you lovely faces here in the sanctuary with us. And welcome to everybody that's going to be watching this remotely. Joy. 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 It's a beautiful name. And it's the name of a 94-year-old woman. I want to tell you about Joy. Joy had never seen a mountain. She grew up in rural Ohio. And she shared this with her grandson. And he thought, everybody should at least be able to see a mountain in their lifetime. And so he took her camping to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, one of my favorites, near where I grew up. Joy was 85, and she slept in a tent. Have all of you all slept in tents? I'm guessing some of you might not have. I have. Joy loved it. She loved her adventure, and it awakened something inside of her and her grandson. And they embarked on a path where they visited every national park. Every one, all 66. And Joy now claims the record for being the oldest person to visit every one of the national parks. And you may not realize this, but they're not all on the continental U.S. They're in Hawaii, they're in Alaska, they're in American Samoa. Well, that wasn't enough, because now they're really on a roll. They got some ludicrous number of followers on Instagram. And they decide they're going to tackle an even bigger, more ambitious goal. They are going to visit every continent. This is a woman that had never even seen a mountain. She is now 94, and she has just gone to Antarctica, where fewer than 1% of our population actually visit. And she had her trekking poles. She's got her some good bones, I'm here to tell you. She is climbing, she is doing the things that she'd never even been able to dream of. She could hardly conceptualize going to the Galapagos, where I have been. It is not an easy journey. And they are next going to Iceland, which warms my heart. Some of you have heard me talk about my fascination and deep joy that I experienced when I was on Iceland in June. She's gone whitewater rafting. I have not checked that off my list. My dad tried to get me to go when I was in my doctoral program, and I declined. Silly me. I thought I should stay and keep my nose to the grindstone with academics. He got to go whitewater rafting and get thrown from the boat. But anyway, this story about Joy just fills me with fascination and excitement. I want to be more like Joy. Do you? Yes. I mean, what? She's going to go to every continent. And she is creating this bond. Now, is this just benefiting her? No. Who else do you think is deriving massive benefits? Her 43-year-old grandson. Now, let me tell you this about Joy. Her 3 sons are all in another realm, including her grandson's father. They are creating these adventures together. They have dreamed so big. And what does her grandson say? I'm just so glad that I'm in a position in my life that I can share this with her. I mean, this seems like a movie to me, at least a book, more than Instagram photos, because how many people could take a tiny sliver of this message and run with it? And this was Something I just found out this morning. I woke up an hour before my alarm, and I just discovered this story online, and I had to include it because her name is Joy. She's living from a space of joy, and she is creating joy to everybody that hears her story. And really, part of what I was planning to talk about, and this is just an added bonus, is how we can live a more joyful life, right? And part of it's saying yes to things that may seem difficult, if not impossible. Now, we'll do a little informal poll. How many people in here believe that somebody probably told Joy or her grandson that they were crazy for doing this, right? Everybody said, oh, that's too much, or this, that, some of the same things we tell ourselves, right? We talk about our limitations. This is truly embracing what's possible. And, you just don't go to Antarctica with everyday winter coats. You have to have the super duper. I have several friends that tried to convince Russ and me to go with them, but at that point we declined. But I'm rethinking it. I mean, Antarctica sounds like quite the adventure after Iceland. So anyway, I love the energy that joy brings up in me. I don't know if you can see, I brought a few visual aids. Joy to the world. Yeah. And Russ and I bought these candles last year. They look like they might be fading a tiny bit, but let's add all the sparkle and shine that we can. That's what I'm embracing this year. A lot of my friends, they're downsizing. They're not putting up any trees. Well, guess what? I'm putting up 3 trees. I have 3 trees in process. That's the most I've ever had. I went to an event when I was in Kentucky recently, and a woman who entertained us at her house had a tree in her kitchen. Well, I never thought about putting a tree in my kitchen before. And I moved a lot of my plants out and put the tree in. And it's designed on a peppermint theme. I like the idea of peppermint in red and white. Now, I brought a few candles. Candy canes. I thought I brought. There it is. It's stuck back there. Okay. Decoration faux pas. But here it is. I have 2. I have a red and white and a green and red. I'm just amplifying the joy. That's my intention. There you go. Double candy canes. And a part of creating and living more joyfully is to be willing to say yes when other people do something kind for me. Now, is that easy for all of you to just say, yes, let me accept this gift? Well, yes, let me allow you to buy my lunch. Yes, let me allow you to do this task for me. Most of us resist, right? Has anybody ever resisted when somebody tried to give them an act of kindness? Yeah? I see a few little hesitant nods, but I bet it's true, because in all the classes that I've taught on self-care, my students uniformly told me that it was easier for them to give than to receive. But guess what? It takes both sides to create that circle. I was at an event in Kentucky where I work with the Children's Hospital, and they have a lot of patients that are going to be in the hospital for the holidays. They're there, they're not leaving, right? So we do this wonderful event where the moms usually come down and give us the name of the patient and the age, and then also the siblings. And I, and many others, get the absolute sheer joy of shopping with that mom, or just taking a list and shopping from all the thousands upon thousands of things that have been donated by the community. Anyway, I got to talking with another elf type person like me, and she was saying, oh, I'm a terrible receiver. That makes me so uncomfortable. And I said, well, have you ever considered what that does for the giver? Because if I say, here's Sandra, and she says, oh no, I couldn't let you do that. Oh no, that's too generous. No. If she gives me no's, that totally disrupts my intention and blocks my ability to be a giver. You cannot have givers without receivers. So thank goodness there are some willing receivers in here. And I bet you could step that up. I have trained myself over the last few years, and I mean seriously, focused on when somebody says, oh, lunch is on me today, my treat. Zipping my mouth, biting my tongue. The only thing I allow myself to say is, thank you. That's very kind of you. But it's so tempting to resist. But we want to participate in that beautiful dynamic flow. And we are immersed in all sorts of opportunities that these holiday weeks or months, however you count it, provide for us. It's not always easy to be joyful. Everybody isn't living the perfect life, right? We're not all in a Hallmark movie. Although sometimes, like recently when I took my whole family, my 2 grandkids, my husband, my son-in-law and daughter, I truly did feel like I was in a Hallmark movie because it was a dream that came true finally after 2 years of setting that intention. But things happen. I'm dealing with some loss issues. Maybe some of you are as well. I have a granddaughter that I do not get to see, and she lives 20 minutes away from me. I don't care to answer any questions about that. I'm just putting it out there. I may look like, oh, I'm living this great life, everything's hunky-dory, but we all have the areas where we struggle, right? There are things that hurt our hearts. There are things that weigh us down. But we can activate joy. And the 4th Sunday of Advent, the booklet that you can still get from UWM, Russ is handing it to me right now. I brought my copy. You may not be able to get a printed version, but you can still download the e-version and read it each day. And it goes all the way to January 6th, the Epiphany. So see, there's still plenty of time to take advantage of that. Just a little side note.
Nancy, there are some in the back if anybody wants some.
Oh, see? There's some already here. So you could take your own copy back. Thank you for letting me know. So the word for today, or another phrase for today, is I spread joy. See, I wrestled with myself for hours about whether I would actually wear this today. Oh, you shouldn't actually. Thank you. Thank you. It's like, well, I could wear my pants that have Christmas trees on them, but I just kept getting this message. Wear it. If you want to demonstrate joy, this is a way to demonstrate joy. And being vulnerable, sometimes we have to make ourselves a hair bit vulnerable, right? To really live and step into our joy. So, there's a difference between joy and happiness. Happiness is more temporary. Maybe I get a surprise package in the mail, and I'm happy, like, oh, it's fun to open the package, and then it's whatever, but then that's over. But joy is a more lingering, ongoing state, and we can engage in ways that allow us to feel joy more consistently. It involves, guess what? Your brain. that big, powerful brain of ours and the neurotransmitters, getting all the neurobiology activated. We love those positive feelings that we get. For some of us, it may be watching sports. We have a big Dallas Cowboy fan right in the back of the sanctuary waving wildly. And he still finds joy from watching the Cowboys. Others of us love kids. I love my grandkids. That's my joy space. I get to sit on the floor and color and play games and who knows what. Axel, my 5-year-old grandson, now knows what every number is called up to 30 zeros and beyond. 30 zeros is nonillion. He quizzes me. I remember nonillion because he calls me Nana, kind of close. He likes to give me math problems. I love it. I really can't keep up with him already, and he's only 5. But all of this produces dopamine, oxytocin, all these feel-good hormones, endorphins. And we can do things that allow us to feel that more consistently, right? So I'm just going to run through a few. You already know some of these. Physical activity. Maybe you love going to the mall or to wherever and shopping. Well, maybe part of it's because you're getting that circulation pumping, you're getting some feel-good hormones going because you're out in the fresh air and you are getting in the giving spirit. That is one way that we can bathe ourselves quite literally in all the neurotransmitters. And here's the great thing, it lasts long after we finish doing that. So I have had various times in my life where I participated in physical therapy. I'm back in physical therapy right now, and I love it because it gets me going. It connects me to how strong I am. It connects me to what I can do and what I will do, rather than just sitting and thinking about limitation. It gives me hope. I'm encouraged to see other people around me that are also using their bodies in really healthy and effective ways. So that is one way. We are a spiritual community. We come together because we love the connections that we feel with each other. And we get opportunities to give, whether it's through the little food pantry or in other ways. It adds meaning and purpose and value to our lives. But here is something else new I discovered late last night. And I was already telling Donna this story, but I also did something quite different for me last night. I went out on the night before a Sunday service. Usually I'm like committed to my computer and my handouts and my decorations or my outfit or my talk or whatever it is. But I got invited to go see a production of Holiday Inn, the musical, in Arlington by Theater Arlington. So I was doing all this late, but all the music, the dancing, if you like to watch tap dancing, oh my gosh, I'd never even seen the movie. So this was a totally new and fun experience for me. So we have to keep adding the new. So even after I got home, I found out about something, you're not going to believe what it's called, a joy generator. It's an actual thing. Are you kidding me? And it's through NPR. But if you go to NPR or just Google NPR joy generator, you will get some information about these sounds. Apparently, there's some research that's been done on these sounds that give you a sense of peace. It gives you a very relaxing response, and it's got an acronym, of course. Doesn't everything have an acronym? ASMR. You might wonder, what the heck does that mean? ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. No wonder they call it ASMR. Who can even say that? But you can get some sounds. Now, some of them don't sound that good to me. Like, one of them's like paper rattling, kind of a crinkly sound. But there's a whole array of sounds. Just like on some of our alarms or the devices that we use to help us go to sleep and wake up. Everything doesn't work the same way for everybody, so you have to experiment with it a little. But look up, I'm serious, NPR's Joy Generator. That was another treasure I just discovered late last night. So that was fun. Well, we know that all of this takes practice. It takes intention. There's another activity that you might want to employ, and it's called 3 Good Things. And as you're getting ready for bed, or maybe even when you're eating dinner, whatever time works for you, just do a little review and do a little rewind of your day and identify 3 good things that you experienced that day. It's amazing. And good can be defined however you want. But again, it's another expression of gratitude and appreciation and staying in the present. Because we know that all of this is an ongoing journey, right? We didn't get through this life without a few potholes. We know what potholes feel like. They can be jarring. They can throw you off of your groove, so to speak. They can make you question your safety momentarily. But to get back into that joy is really my focus this season. My 3 trees, they're all in various states of being put together. And that's okay with me, because I keep my trees up until the new year, until after the Epiphany, and actually after my birthday, which is January 8th. Just saying, 3 holidays in a row: Christmas Day, New Year's Day, Nancy's birthday. So I have a lot of time to enjoy my trees, but really it's about doing what makes you happy. Put a smile on your face. Give yourself the gift of peace. And you know what happens when you feel more joyful inside? It's contagious. You know, wouldn't you rather catch joy than catch a cold, right? You don't want that, but you want to catch that joy. You want to release all those feel-good hormones, because they will improve your health. They will make you a magnet. And as we create that energy, not just in ourselves, but in this beautiful spiritual community, we're going to attract the right and perfect minister, the right and perfect new congregants, new speaker, new singer, new whatever, new prayer chaplains. We are in a space where we can create the life we want and live in joy. I am so grateful to each every one of you. You've smiled at me, you've nodded at me, you even applauded me just for my outfit. And I was afraid you'd boo me, so there's that. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas, everybody.